I didn't think that my life would be this way. I didn't picture myself being home with 3 kids. I didn't picture myself being married. I didn't picture myself being the person that I am today. So God has a plan for you already written out. You just have to follow that plan.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Ignite the World podcast. This is episode number 19, Worth More Than Rubies, a wife and mother's work. I am your host, Jamie Dottie Garza, and in the midst of being Mother's Day, which is today, which you guys will be seeing this podcast tomorrow, I want to shine light on one of the most loving, the most beautiful woman I've been blessed in my life to call my wife. And I want to kind of talk about today's episode because we're going to switch things up today. I've uplifted and mentioned this woman publicly and in my home and to everybody, but she's the glue to it all. She's the piece that I needed. She's everything I prayed for, even when I didn't even know how to pray. And this episode was really inspired by our pastor, Reverend Baker, today at church. And I'm going to tag this text as he would say. He said, and this is coming from Proverbs 31:10, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." Now, what he was saying about that is worth more than anything materialistic. This woman's worth and value is golden. And I could go on a days about how important having a wife who believes, a wife who is peaceful, a wife who motivates, a wife who actually makes our home a home. We could all have house, but she is the glue to it all. And not just me as husband, oldest son, middle son, baby daughter, dog. She is the root of it all, each and every day. And I wanted to have her shine light of what that looks like, being a stay-at-home mom, because it wasn't always like that from the beginning. How it is really truly believing in God, how it really means to go through the pillars of God, husband, wife, children, and not come from a place of just being, I'm just being submissive, or kind of like the negative connotations of what it means of when you let a man lead, right? Because this is teamwork right here. And I want you guys to hear it firsthand because, again, this isn't my story to tell. This is a developing story. And the woman who's about to come up here and speak on this, she's the one who even planted the seed of me being a believer in God. And we're growing together, doing life together. We're about to celebrate our 2nd year anniversary of marriage. We're doing life together, next week on the 21st. We're in May. So without further ado, this is the only guest, by the way, on this podcast. Yes, it's going down. Without further ado, this is my wife, my better half, the one who's never given up on me, the glue to our family. You want to wonder where I get that positive and that peaceful essence? Yeah, I learned it from her. That grace? Yeah, learned it from her. None other than the one, not the two. I'm telling you, this is Miss Garza, Kyanna Garza.
Hi, everybody. I am Kyanna Garza, and I'm here to talk to you about being a mom. Thank you to my husband for that amazing intro. He always, mind you, this is 24/7. He never turns this off. This is him all the time. But I'm here to talk to you about being a mom and how my day-to-day life is, being a stay-at-home mom. So I'm here. I finally got away from my baby to come talk to you guys. I'm excited. Happy Mother's Day. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. Today is over, but, hope you guys had a wonderful day, got away from the kids, just did what you guys wanted to do. Being a stay-at-home mom is this time around was different. Um, your mental health has to be top tier. That has to be great. The first time around I tried it, my mental health wasn't good. I didn't have my baby girl. I had Carter. Carter was a baby at the time. He is my second son. He's 6. I had him, and I tried the stay-at-home mom thing, and my mind wasn't in the right place at that time. So I then went back to work. My husband, he's always had his video business, but he was working for a different company at that time. So I was able to be home. My mental health wasn't good. So I went back to work. I kept pressuring, no, I want to go back to work. I want to go back to work. So at that time I was working for a massage company. And in the beginning it was great. I liked it. Great hours. And I was with, the massage company for a long time. And then me and my husband got married. And his business, he opened up a second tier of his wedding business, and I saw that he was out most of the time, and at that time I was working on Saturdays, so we really didn't have anybody to keep our children. And me and him had a talk. I had came home one day because I had a conversation with my manager at the time, and I felt like I wasn't appreciated. So I basically, talked to him, and he, told me, he said, you can come home. It was very, very nerve-wracking coming home to him, telling him, I'm ready to come home. I didn't know what he was going to say, but he did say, come home. So I quit my job. It was after COVID, after our wedding. Mind you, we are newly married. We're starting this whole new life again. So I'm trying to figure out, if this is really what I want. Being a new wife, at the time I didn't have baby girl, so it was just the kids, so I was trying to find myself in what it looks like to be a stay-at-home mom. And we communicated very well. He helped me through everything. And, right now, today, our communication is amazing. We're best friends. I have my oldest son. His academics wasn't the way that his academics wasn't good. So I felt like me being home, he's doing amazing in his academics. My 6-year-old, he was having problems with, speech and stuff. His speech is impeccable. And the baby is she's humble, she's quiet. We get a lot of compliments, she's a good baby, and I really believe that's because, me being home with her all the time. Coming from a long line of women that they're very alpha. They think, work, work, work. You're not supposed to sit home. You're not supposed to, do certain things. I kind of changed that narrative. Hearing, you're supposed to have a job. You're supposed to do this. I've been working since I've been 16 years old. So I felt like I've been that working girl for a long time. I've been that, person that's been trying to find myself. And I feel like this is where God needs me to be. I've let go and I let him lead, and I'm at peace. My husband gives me peace. My kids give me peace. My dog gives me peace. This is where I'm supposed to be. And for as long as God wants me here in this position, I'm going to stay here. My faith in God it's impeccable. I lean on him for any and everything. And my husband's journey with God is amazing. He just got baptized. Amen to that. I'm so glad. That was just a breath of fresh air. I was getting really, teared up at that moment that he got baptized. And, everybody kept asking, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I don't think they understood the journey that me and him have been through to get here. Everything, it aligns. Everything's working for us. Everything's great. I'm not going to say it's perfect. We have a lot of things that we have to work on. We have a lot of things that we have to kind of figure out, but it's working for us. It's working for me. It's working for him, and it's working for the kids. Going back to, my journey and how, before I met Jamie, I was a single mother at one point. I had my oldest, who is 13, and I wouldn't say it was rough, and I wouldn't say it was different, 19, single mom, trying to figure it out. I had a amazing support system. I had with my son, I had an amazing support system, but you have to dig deep down inside of yourself and figure it out with yourself, love yourself, not, it's going to be a long road. It's going to be hard, but you just got to dig deep and it'll come out. And then you're going to find that person that's going to love you and love your kids. And, you just have to let God lead, and you have to love God first. Just like in the beginning of the intro, my husband said, it's tears, it's God, your husband, yourself, who is the wife, and your kids. And at one point in time, I was putting significant others over God. He doesn't like to be in competition with anybody. He doesn't like to be second. So as long as you're putting that person or that situation in front of him, it's not going to work. So once I put God in front and, it all worked out, everything panned out between, me and my husband. I was a single mom. He came into the situation with me and my son. So, and he wasn't always the person that he is now. He's amazing now. You have to love yourself. You can't love someone more than you love God. And it'll all work out, I promise. It's not perfect. People, might think on Instagram and Facebook that our relationship and our family is perfect. By all means, it's not perfect at all. We're a work in progress. Our kids are a work in progress. My husband's a work in progress, and I'm a work in progress. Nothing's perfect. I show you guys what I want you guys to see, but I'm here to tell you that nothing's perfect, and we work on each other every day. I don't know if this is a tough topic for anybody, but I was in a text message with my best friends. We're in a group chat, and I made a comment and I said, the dating, it's not the way it used to be. Dating nowadays when we're 32, 33, that's it seems like it's hard. I'm not gonna say what you have to do, but you're not gonna find somebody that's perfect. Not saying that my husband is perfect, but he's amazing. But you're not gonna find somebody perfect. You have to build them up. My pastor today in his sermon, he said a part of the sermon. It's not gonna be verbatim. I'm gonna try to sum up what he said. But basically, he said, you as a woman have to, quote unquote, build that man to where you want him to be. He's not going to come out the gate as what you want him to be. You have to build that man the way you want him to be. My husband, he's perfect. He's perfect for me and he's perfect for our children. But he wasn't that way before. So we worked together to make him to where he is today. And he still has a lot of work to do. I still have a lot of work to do on myself. But we build each other up every day, to get to the point where we need to be. So I'm here to tell you that man's out there. You just have to be patient. And if you do find that person, give them some grace. And, work. You guys work together to get to the point that you need to get to. Me being 32, I didn't think that my life would be this way at 32. Having my oldest son, I didn't picture myself being home with 3 kids. I didn't picture myself being married. I didn't picture myself being the person that I am today. So God has a plan for you already written out. You just have to follow that plan. When you decide to take the role of being a stay-at-home mom, I have I'm in a Facebook group of these stay-at-home moms. And, I see these stories about, this, that, but, you have to protect your peace. When that phone rings and you see that person call you, you don't have to pick the phone up. You don't have to text that person back. You don't have to be present at every moment. You just have to be present for your kids and your husband. Also, take care of yourself as well. My self-care, is getting my lashes done or my nails done or, at a point in time, sometime my hair, that's my self-care. That's what I like to do to get away. And my husband's amazing and he allows me to go out and do that and he stays home with the kids. That's my self-care and that's what I take away from it. You have to work on yourself first and you have to protect yourself first. Then that's how you take care of yourself and that's how you take care of your kids. If you're thinking about, going home with your kids, do it. If your husband or your significant other or your spouse has the resources for you to do it and you're able to stay home with your kids, by all means do it. A day-to-day for me is I wake up, the baby has her schedule, sometimes my husband's home working, sometimes he's out in the field filming, so I'm able to maneuver either way if he's home or if he's not. In the beginning, I will tell you, in the beginning, I laid around, I just sat and watched the movies, Netflix, that's okay to do, but for your mental health and your well-being, some days it's okay for you to do that, but then some days you do have to get out, take the baby out for a walk, take the baby to places. My thing is Target. Love Target. Husband doesn't like when I go to Target, but I can go to Target 5 days a week if I want to. So that's what I like to do. I like to, and the baby, she knows. When we go to Target, she knows. She gets in the car, she's quiet. She likes looking at people, talking to people. So she knows she's a Target baby. I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, need me to get a job? I can get a job. And he's like, no, it's fine. So the day he tells me to get a job, don't tell him I'm probably going to be upset if he makes me get a job. But it's okay. It's okay. But being a stay-at-home mom, it's amazing. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy my kids. We're all trying to, figure this out. Everybody's learning, everybody's doing. At 32, I still haven't figured it out. I can't speak for my husband, but I know at 32, I still haven't figured it out. So if you have kids, if you're a single mom, if you're trying to have a baby, if you're trying to do things different, in the dating scene, you're trying to figure out with your marriage, we're learning as a whole, we're humans. Give yourself some grace, learn as you go. Because I will tell you, in the Garza household, it's a learn as you go every day. We take it day by day. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week. We don't know what's going to happen next month. We just take it day by day. And that's been working for me. It brings me peace. My husband brings me peace, but just going day by day, because I don't know what's going to happen in the future. And I know God has everything in his hands. That's what gets me through the day. That's what gets my kids through the day. Me being a mom to them is what gets us through the day. So just give yourself some grace. I'm glad you guys had me here. So thank you.